balls off his thigh again, he raised a brow. But she stomped her foot. I don't give two squats about your butt. Her face distorted and she farted. Sweet? That smell hit him right away and without end. It smelled like a rotting corpse. He coughed and hacked, tried to plug his nose, but none of it did any good. That part could have broken through a steel wall. Something done rotted out her insides. Well, that does it, he thought. If nothing else, opening the front door would dissipate that smell. He pushed himself back up and staggered to the door. Glancing back at her as he walked, she stared daggers at him. Well, look at you. That fart sure got you moving fastest I've seen you in a long while. That's for sure. He ignored her and turned his focus on the frogs. Heck, maybe I ought to catch a few, cook me up some frog legs for tomorrow, he thought. That made his mouth water. He hadn't had frog legs in a coon's age. Back when he had friends, they often stayed out late digging frogs. Afterwards, they would torch them up over a good fire and laugh whenever one of those frogs' air sacs popped. They would have their fill of frog meat all while drinking the good stuff, grade A beer, and belting out drunken songs well into the night, one after another. I miss those days, he thought. He threw open the door, but hadn't expected to see so many frogs. They were everywhere, hopping here and there, leaping over one another, croaking and bellowing. A strange glow emanated from most of them. Feeling Irma's gaze on him and burning a hole right through him, he shook a finger at them frogs. All you frogs shoot! Leave us be now. You hear? Get! Rack, rack, not a single frog left. He stepped out onto the stoop. Go on now, get! Mind what? One of the frogs hopped right at him. Before he could do anything, it leapt head first into his mouth. Whoop! It clawed at the inside of his mouth, trying to force its way down his throat. Spinning away from the door, he gagged as the frog wriggled past his uvula. Roar! Consumed with panic, he seized the frog by its hind legs and pulled hard. Even then, it didn't come easy. Jesus! Free of that creature, he chucked it as far into the yard as he could. He bent, gasping for air. Yuck! What in the hell? Another frog came jumping across the lawn, once more heading straight for him. When it got within 5 feet of him, it sprang into the air. He tried to fend off the attack. Get away! The frog got 1 foot on his lower lip and pulled itself up. Somehow, despite him slapping at it, that frog squirmed into his mouth much deeper than the last. Ork! Feeling that lump moving down his esophagus, he whirled about without control, bouncing off the door frame, the wall, feeling the bile rise in his stomach. He dug into his mouth and barely got hold of its legs. Then he yanked while the frog clawed madly at his throat. Once more, Herb freed himself of the frog and tossed this one even farther away.